Cities are decorated with Christmas trees, candles, bubbles, and colorful lights. Some claim to even have seen Santa flying through the sky. It's needless to say that year 2014 is coming to an end. So maybe this is the right moment to take a look back at the first semester of talent and management development. In this section, I am going to analyze my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in my English learning curve. Strengths. My biggest advantage is that I am very motivated to improve my English skills. I'm glad that I get the opportunity to participate in a study which is fully provided in English, and therefore I'll take this chance with both hands. In Dutch, I'm a good speaker when it comes to presentations, sellings, negotiations, and so on. I hope this will be the same in English. Weaknesses. Apart from the English lessons in secondary school, I've never had the experiences in this global language. Though I was raised in both French and Dutch, my overall language skills were never extremely good. I could certainly improve my English reading and writing skills, particularly when it comes to technical terminology. Opportunities. I'm hoping that the English program will provide me with the skills that I will require in my further business career. In modern times, we come in contact with English almost every day by internet, series, movies, music, and so on. So, in my opinion, it won't be very hard to adapt to the English program. In the second section, I am going to talk about a job advertisement that I have linked to my personal competences. The job advertisement was from Edmund Cute, which is a multi-award winning London estate agent. The firm is looking for a sales manager to open, grow and develop a new sales department. I am now going to link myself to the sales manager that is suitable for the job. Be confident hitting and exceeding sales targets. I try to be confident in everything I do. If I'm not, I won't do it. When it comes to sales targets, I'm able to give myself 100% to achieve or even exceed them. Be well presented and an excellent communicator. I'm good at communicating. When needed, I can be very persuasive, but even more important is that I'm also a very good listener. I'm convinced that I can very easily adapt when talking to strangers. I also try to be well presented at all times. I have a strong work ethic. I do like working. I believe that if I want to achieve things in life, that I'll have to work hard for it. I know that giving the best of me will always be rewarded. If not in recognition from my colleagues or employees, it will be in recognition of myself. Have a competitive desire to succeed. Well, this is certainly no problem for me. Whenever I set myself a goal, I will do whatever is needed to carry it out successfully. This theme is all about planning. I am going to give you 3 examples of my planning methods. I'll begin with my planning for a normal week. To be honest with you, I don't plan my days. I usually live from day to day because that's the way I prefer it. It makes me feel free. But when I plan things like family dinners or a consultation with a doctor and so on, I do put them in my agenda in my cell phone. The only period when I really have a day-to-day planning is the period before and during the examinations. I then use a backward planning method, starting with counting back the days of study I need for each exam. I usually manage to stick to this planning. The last example I am going to give is about planning a project. When I start working on a project, I make a chronological overview of all steps that need to be done. Then I estimate how much time every part will need, and according to that, I organize the days needed to work on it. Depending on the type of project, I'll always try to have a margin of 7 days before the deadline. In the fourth theme, I am going to show you some examples of my structuring methods. Here you can see my notes, next to the slide of a PowerPoint. As you can see, in this case I am defining technical terms which were new to me. In other cases, I also use notes to give additional information to the slide. It also happens that I just mark keywords or important points on the slide. In the fifth theme, I am going to reflect on a trial exam. The trial exam was just like I had expected. The main goal was to have an idea of how questions will be asked in January. It was also good to know what your knowledge already is and what you will need to focus on. During the test, I sometimes faced the problem that I didn't understood questions at first sight. I often had to reread them, which cost me a lot of time. I hope this won't cause me time trouble during the real exam. Without having put too much time in preparation, I had a 6 out of 10 for the mock exam of both business economics and accountancy. I hope that the teachers didn't make them too easy in comparison with the real exam, because that would only have a counterproductive effect. As seen in the learning group, an entrepreneur is a person who owns his own business. He bears all the risks and uncertainties involved in running a business. A manager, on the other hand, is an employee that is responsible for planning and directing the work of a group of individuals. According to the entrepreneurial tests, I am both an entrepreneur and a manager. As you can see on the results of the first test, my general profile lies a little bit above that from the average entrepreneur. It doesn't surprise me that my motivation scores are very high, whilst my attitudes are somewhat lower. For the second test, I reached a score of 21 out of 30, which makes Forbes wonder why I haven't even started raising capital yet. The last screenshot shows that also the managerial test comes out with a positive result of 79 out of 100. I can fully agree on these results. My portfolio is coming to an end, so time has come for a final reflection. For talent and management, we had to prepare one module every 2 weeks. That would then be presented by the chairpersons during the learning group. If I now look back at the first semester, I can tell that my biggest mistakes were made during the preparation. I have to admit that most of the time I only read parts of the module, and I tried to make most exercises, but if I didn't felt like doing it, I would only make half of the exercise or even nothing at all. I realized that when this happened, it was unpleasant for and even somewhat disrespectful towards the chairpersons. The missing out of some tasks also caused me needless trouble while making this portfolio. As I get a chance of doing better in the second semester, I'll make sure I won't waste it. I will take the time to read every module carefully, and I'll prepare all the tasks for the learning sessions. At least that's what I plan doing. So, now that my portfolio is finished, I can start focusing on the examinations. After that, there will be no time to waste trying my new method of actions.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat.